Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I've left the confines of my little blue photo booth to bring you this review of the Lanard Star Troopers line. I found what I believe to be the entire first wave of this line on Black Friday at a place called Ocean State Job Lot. Of course, Lanard is known for its long-standing military toy line, the Core, as well as the various offshoots like the Primal Clash aka Jurassic Clash line. And for the past several years, they've done many licensed lines that have been available at Walmart in the US, including Kong Skull Island, Rampage, Jumanji, Aliens, and Predator. I first became aware of the Star Troopers line in late 2020, when listings for them showed up on the website for the UK-based toy seller Smith's. So it's been a long wait waiting for these to show up in the US. I don't know why it took 2 years. As we know, some toy companies have had problems with manufacturing, and then the shipping container crisis coming out of the pandemic. So I'm sure those issues probably added to the delays. As of this recording, I have not seen these show up at any big box retailers like Walmart or Amazon. In fact, the only place I regularly see Lanard product is at discount and closeout chains like Ocean State Job Lot or Ollie's. Lanard has told us that in the future, some of these items may be available through Walmart, but if you're looking for them right now, I would suggest looking at those type of discount and closeout stores like Ollie's to see if you can get lucky and find some. The idea behind Star Troopers is that these are soldiers in space fighting giant alien bugs. So obviously some inspiration taken from known franchises like Starship Troopers or Alien. These look like a lot of fun, so let's get into them. Let's go from smallest to largest on these. So we'll be starting off with the Parasite bug figures. And I've left the price tags on all these items so you can see what the price is and compare it to the value of what you're getting. Each of the figures in these sets seems to be a 5 POA figure. And from the look of them, they're all different, or at least different combinations of parts to make them look different. They each have a different weapon. All the helmets seem to be the same, but you're also getting a different parasite bug in each of these. And as you can see on the package, if you remove the figure's helmet, the parasite bug can snap over the figure's head and presumably take control of them. As it says on the blurb on each package, beware of parasite bugs, brain takeover. So on the backs of these packs, we have a small write-up. Infectious suborg larvae are brain-sucking parasites traversing the landscape of Spinnerack 6. Clinging to anything with a pulse, the parasites control the mind and body of the victim to attack other Star Troopers. And we see each of the 4 different parasites has a different name. We have Leecher, Sluggard, Crusher, and Bloodsucker. Aren't they lovely? And here are the 4 soldiers out of the package. And they are 4 unique sculpts. Each one looks very different than the other. They each have a weapon. And they each have a helmet that pops right over their head. These are just 5 POA figures, which is fine, because as you saw, the price is only $4 for these. And rather than being sculpted as straight up and down like the original Kenner Star Wars figures or what Super 7's been doing with Reaction, they do have a bit of a stance, a bit of a pose to them. Each figure does have one hand sculpted so they can hold their weapon, and the other hand is sculpted so they can presumably grab onto the controls of the many vehicles that are included in this line. The sculpt and coloring on the 4 parasite bugs makes them all unique. The paint applications on these are really, really nice. Very clean, very colorful. Some of the bugs are a little tight going onto the heads. If you take them on and off a lot, there may be some paint wear on the heads of the figures. And the bugs also have a lot of personality. These are definitely something right out of a sci-fi horror movie. Next up, we'll look at the 2 Planetary Explorer vehicles. The first one being this tank, done in that same beige color as the uniforms on these soldiers. The back of the Planetary Explorer's box shows you both vehicles in this assortment. And the figure in this is the same as one of the ones we just saw in the Parasite bug sets. So some reuse on figures with the vehicles. He does come with a different weapon though. So the tank has an opening canopy where the figure can sit. Large turret, smaller turret gun here. A couple of antennae in the back. Some small wheels on the bottom. The treads are molded, they don't move. Now I do have a version of this tank in gray from the core line. Lanard will often repaint and reuse figures and vehicles across different lines, which is fine. Repaints have always been part of the toy industry, and it allows them to offer toys like this at much lower prices than Hasbro or other larger companies would charge. And the figure has plenty of room to seat inside that cockpit. Nice little vehicle for 10 bucks. Second vehicle in this assortment is a little shuttle type craft. And the figure that comes with this vehicle is unique in that he seems to be a humanoid alien and not quite human. And his articulation is a bit different from the figures we've already seen. The figure in this set is actually a 9 POA figure. He does have both knee and elbow joints. And as you can see, a completely different sculpt than the other soldier figures we've seen. So is this guy an alien ally of Earth? Or is he allied with the bugs? I guess you can decide yourself. He also comes with a weapon and a helmet. But we can see the helmet on this one has a clear shield on it, so you can see the figure's face in there. The vehicle itself is a nice little shuttle, all in white, with the gold colored accents on the weapons and the engines, and that transparent red canopy that stands out. This is the inside of the cockpit. He's got some controls in there. As with the other figures, he's got 2 different positions on his hands. So that left hand can grasp the control of the ship. And the canopy closes up nicely. It's got some clips on it to secure him in there. I do notice there's a little ball joint nub in the back here. I often see this on different types of vehicles from Lanard, where previous releases had extra weapons attached to them. So at some point, a previous release of this vehicle probably had a gun or something attached to that ball joint. Again, a nice little ship and figure for a good price. Moving on to the Interstellar Light and Sound Vehicle assortment. As we can see, these were $17 for a vehicle and a figure. And the 2 vehicles in this set, the rover and the capsule. There is a try me button on the front of this window, so let's try it out. So there's a light at the end of that gun barrel on the turret. I'm not hearing any electronic sounds though, unless they count the vibration as it moves back and forth as the sound. But we'll explore more when we get this out of the box. After looking over the vehicle out of the package, I would have to conclude that yes, that is what constitutes the sound, is the sound that the turret makes as it goes in and out. That's fine, I guess. This turret can actually come off the vehicle and be played with separately. And there is a stand on it where you can place a figure. They do have peg holes in their feet. On the vehicle itself, we have several accessories. We have one of these cases on either side that can peg in so you don't lose them. This case on the hood can also come off. And there is a separate gun that a passenger figure can manipulate. The figure that comes with it is a body reuse from one of the figures we already saw, but it does have a new head instead of having a space helmet to put on it. This head comes with the military style helmet sculpted on. He does come with a gun. This, whatever it might be, scanning device, I guess. And this communications backpack. The one problem I see is that the peg hole on his back is slightly too big for the peg on the backpack, so it just kind of falls off. Getting two figures inside the vehicle is a bit of a tight squeeze, but it can be done. You really have to be best buddies with the guy sitting next to you because you're practically sitting in his lap. The capsule comes with what appears to be another unique figure in a white spacesuit. And I believe we do have some proper light and sound effects with this. Let's check it out. Our human astronaut has quite a bit of extra articulation, like a bicep swivel, waist. He's got elbows and knees. He also comes with a helmet with a clear shield that can snap right off. He's got a gun, a scientific instrument, and a backpack, and this backpack stays on much better than the previous one we saw. I really like the space capsule. Not really a military vehicle, more of a exploration vehicle. It's got this array that can come out the side there, and it pops open to reveal two seats in the interior, stickers on either side, plus on the control panel, and as we saw previously, and our astronaut friend can sit in there comfortably and probably store his gear in that empty seat. Now we come to our first creature set, the Giant Bug Battle, which retailed for $14.99. The back of the box tells us that this bug is called the Big Basher, a land attack bug. The figure is another body reuse of the 5POA figures, with another unique head sculpt with one of those military helmets molded on. And the only accessory he comes with is this gun emplacement, which can swivel 360. The highlight of this set, of course, is the Big Basher bug. He's about 12 inches long, with only 4 POA, only his legs move. But that's really all you need for a big giant monster figure. I knew from my experience with Lanard's previous releases, Primal Clash and Aliens and Predator, they do an outstanding job sculpting creatures. And this is no exception. He's got some great detail in the jaws, teeth, horns, antenna, the mandibles, his giant shell on the back. Not a whole lot of paint, just the brown on the back with the orange color and that metallic blue on his face to make his eyes stand out. But I think he is a really great looking creature figure. And you can see how big he is compared to that tank we looked at earlier. An imposing creature to fight these little 3 3/4 inch soldier guys. Here we have the epic space encounter. And this set looks like a lot of fun with 2 figures, 2 space bugs, and the vehicle. According to the back of the box, the 2 bugs included are the Thrasher, which is the orange one, and the Creeper, which is a water attack bug. And it looks like we also get another version of one of those parasites, the Bloodsucker. In this set, the 2 figures, the gun, and the parasite bug are all reuses, so nothing new to see there. The vehicle in the set is this little ATV type vehicle, very reminiscent of the Cobra Ferret from the G.I. Joe line. It's got a gun on the front that can swivel. These two big cannons and missiles do lift up like that. But as with the last set, the highlights are going to be the bugs in this one. Now, these two bugs don't have any articulation. They are solid PVC type plastic. But again, the paint and detail on these is really, really nice. This sort of scorpion type land bug. 6 legs, a stinger tail, some mandibles on the front there. Really excellent sculpting. And what detail in the paint they do put on is really nice. Here is the water bug, a sort of crustacean-like design. And I stand corrected, he's not all solid. There are 2 points of articulation. He can move his arms up and down. It's got that weird tongue coming out, kind of like venom. And I like how all the eyes on all the different bug types are still the same color, metallic blue. It's kind of what ties them all together. We are back out of the blue box once again to take a look at the largest piece in this line so far. And that is the Galactic Mothership, the ultimate spaceship. The features shown on the front of the box: it has a carry handle, a rear opening cargo bay, and it is 30 inches long. And we also have light and sound features. The back of the box shows us some additional features, which include the front opening canopy and the slide action side door. And over to the left you can see that it can also be used as a troop carrier for your figures. Let's use the Try Me window to check out what we have for lights and sound. So we have a little bit of assembly to do. There are 5 pieces that are going to snap onto the ship, as well as a sheet of stickers. And all the instructions can be found on the bottom of the box. Our pilot figure is this guy, just another simple 5 POA figure, this time in a white uniform. He does not come with any weapons or accessories. Here is our assembled Galactic Mothership. Mostly white. We have some orange on the stickers that were applied, as well as the transparent orange on the cockpit. And a few sort of greenish and gray parts throughout to break up the white. Let's take a look at that light and sound feature again. There are 4 wheels on the bottom of the ship, so you can roll it along. Battery compartment is in the front. Here's how our pilot sits inside the cockpit. He can't quite grasp the sticks to pilot because of how his arms are sculpted. There's no elbow articulation, so you really can't get the arm over there to grab that stick. One of the features shown on the back of the box was the recoil action cannon, which, as far as I can tell, you just kind of push. Not very impressive, but there you go. There's a sliding door on the side, and there's a gun that flips up here, so you can put a soldier there to shoot out the side door. On this side of the ship, we have this door that flips down to reveal the troop carrying area. There are 2 handholds on either side, plus some more handholds that flip down. And there's also a harness and cable attached, so you can put that around the waist of a soldier, lower him down. We also have this rear door that flips down. And I put the ATV in there so you can wheel that out. There are no foot pegs in the interior of the ship, but they did put some foot pegs on the outer door, so that seems like a strange choice. There's plenty of room to fit a couple of dozen men in there, so you can use this as a carrying case with this handle. But they're all just going to have to lay around in the inside. There's no way to stand them up. The ship itself is not very heavy, given that it's mostly hollow inside to accommodate figures. But I do like it. It's an attractive design. And it's nice to see something of this size on a store shelf at a reasonable price for an action figure line. That's it for my look at the Lanard Star Troopers line. I've been anticipating finding this line for quite a while, and it did not disappoint. I was happy to find so much of it in one trip. Lanard provides great value for money, and they do make quality toys. And even though the concept behind this toy line is fairly derivative, they do put their own spin on it with some interesting vehicles and some beautifully sculpted monsters. I hope at some point these toys will become more widely available in the US, so that more toy fans can get their hands on them. Finding stuff like this is what keeps me interested in toy collecting. Not the crowdfunded items, not the store exclusives, not the super articulated figures with 6 different sets of hands and 3 different heads and a million different accessories that are just going to end up in a bin somewhere. This is what I love seeing. A bunch of guys with a bunch of spaceships fighting a bunch of monsters. This is what toys are all about. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.